Hi everyone, Matt here with the latest version of the Izzet Prowess deck that I've been working on. I really like where the deck is at in this version. In particular, I'm happy with the number of threats that I was able to get into the deck. The earlier versions felt a little bit threat light even after I had started adding a few extras. So for this one, we have 4 Terramander, 4 Sprite Dragon, 2 Heartfire Immolators, Bone Crusher and Brazen Borrower that double as spells and threats, and 4 Stormwing entities, so we're never really going to be short on threats using this list. Another thing that I really like about this current version is we got rid of some of the more situational cards like Finale of Devastation for cards that are just pretty much always going to be impactful, and the deck feels a lot more consistent even if it loses a little bit of those cards that have really high upside but aren't always good. Lastly, I think the mana base is pretty reasonable now. We are playing 22 lands with an even split between red and blue sources, and we have 8 1-mana cantrips in Opt and Crash Through to help us find both our lands and the correct mana colors that we need. And then Stormwing Entity is the big showcase card from M21 for this deck. It has continued to overperform. I think it is a great build around card, getting that down on turn 3. And scrying too, so you can set up your next couple turns, has been incredibly impactful. If you take a look over at the sideboard, I have 3 Miscast as a super cheap interactive way to counter things like board wipes or other instants or sorceries that matter. 1 Spectral Sailor for the grindy matchups. 2 Red Cat Melee for any red-based aggressive deck. 2 Riddle Form as a sneaky way to play around sweepers. 2 Scorching Dragonfires for all the matchups that have creatures that can get picked off by that, and an ability to pick off Uro on the turn it comes down. 3 Mystical Disputes for the blue-based decks. And lastly, 2 Flame Sweeps for the really low-to-the-ground aggressive decks. Overall, the deck is super fun to play, really interactive, has lots of meaningful decisions, and I hope you'll give it a try. I'm going to send you to some gameplay highlights from last night's stream. Enjoy! I'm not 100% sold on that either. I did actually play my own version of Blue-White Pigeons with Lofty Denial, and I can say that this deck is handily better than it. Titans fan, what is up? Good to have you here. How's it going? Just trying to play some meta-breaking decks on the ladder here. Ooh. Robber the Rich, not ideal. We'll let them hit us first, and then we'll opt. Yeah, Prowess is better than Blue-White. Blue-White feels underpowered. And the mana base is worse. You don't have things like Opt to smooth it out. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this deck over the Blue-White Flyers. I was actually playing the other deck earlier today. Alright, so they can bounce our Heartfire Immolator with our own Brazen Borrower, which is pretty rude. Oh, that's also rude, but at least they're not casting our Brazen Borrower here. Titans fan, how have all your YouTube videos been going? You've been so busy putting so many M21 things up. Alright, let's get the Immolator down. And we'll keep up Opt. Raking Claws, I did get somebody with it earlier today. Overall, the deck has been super solid. I don't know if this is the best card, but it is a cool option to have. Alright, so we're going to block and try to blow them out, although they actually can now just bounce our Heartfire Immolator if they want to. Alright. Definitely want that one. Titans fan, have you been mostly on Paw Blade recently? Right, let's get rid of this. Get our Stormwing Entity going. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with this deck. It's definitely right up my alley. Love the way that it plays out. It's very tempo-y and super interactive. All right, and it's going to be time to go to the races here. This is where Rake and Claws probably actually helps us quite a bit. You're opening a box tomorrow, huh? Is that for the giveaway? Alright, so we can Dorat plus Heartfire Immolator plus Opt. Shock ourselves, go to 9, get hit. If they have Embercleave in that case, we lose. Can we afford to play around Embercleave? I don't think we can. Yeah, Paw Blade is definitely the current hotness. Edder's been playing that as well and doing really well with it. I like it. Alright, so we need to dodge untapped land Embercleave for 1 turn. Although, actually, that doesn't... Yeah, we survive at 1 if that's the case. Hey, yeah, iPhones have great cameras now. I agree. Alright, so we can take 7 here, and then we just have to kill them on the backswing. If we can find an Opt, that would be amazing. Alright. So we get to Stomp, Skewer, Raking Claws. I like it. Just make sure that we tap correctly. Are you giving stuff away, or it's just a box opening video to see what you open? Man, this deck is sweet. Don't even need to show them the Raking Claws? I'm sure it looks great, Titans fan. Alright. So they've got a lot of red cards. And a lot of smallish creatures. So I like melee, Dragonfire, Flame Sweep. Let's cut our counter magic. Definitely not good against a super aggressive deck on the draw. And then, yeah, Raking Claws, not really necessary either. This feels pretty solid. Cool ideas into the format, and a surprising number of new decks have cropped up. Even though it's not an overpowered set, it has a lot of good role players. I'm going to keep this. Oh, thank you, Titans fan. Yeah, I briefly considered pausing my play to lock it up, but I can't resist. We're just going to see how high we can climb. And if we fall out of the top 1200, I'll just play off stream tomorrow and make sure we get back in there. So Crash Through is really good in general. I kind of just want to hit land drops right now. We have so many other spells. I'm going to put it on the bottom. Yeah, there's definitely a web page not found error joke in there somewhere, but too slow to find it tonight. Alright, so we can Terramander plus melee here. What do they hit off this? A shock? Yeah, I don't really want to give them the shock. I'll also just stomp this. Yeah, before they attack, I'm going to just go ahead and stomp the Robber of the Rich. Rather save Red Cap melee for a larger red creature. Well, now I wish I had meleeed because the ooze is annoying, but it looks like they're stuck on lands. Gonna see if we can opt into another land ourselves. Alright. And let's get Dorat going. This way, if they aren't able to kill it right now, we can really start pumping it up next turn. And if they are, we've got some backup plans. Alright, get the Immolator going and keep up melee plus opt plus petty theft. Really hope they actually spend their turn to eat a creature in the yard. Yeah, I can't blow them out. I'd love to be able to opt, block, force them to eat, and then bounce, but we just don't have the mana for it. So we'll let them attack and see if they want to try to pump. Titans fan, are you grinding for top 1200 as well? Alright. Let's start out with an opt here. I'll take it. I'm just going to bounce this now. Force them to keep replaying it. They don't get to actually gain any life. And pumps our creature to get through for a nice attack. If they just replay it, I'm probably just getting it with Red Cat Melee. Resin70, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah, unfortunately this has hexproof, so we can't melee it right now. But even better, we get to pump the Immolator by meleeing it on our turn. And welcome to the stream, Resin70. How's it going tonight? Alright, and yeah, I'm just going to keep playing out some threats. Yeah, Titans fan, I definitely appreciate that mentality. I always try to like get the best of both worlds, where I'm trying new things and trying to get top 1200. It does not always work out. I'll appreciate that, Resin. Thank you. Resin, do you play a lot of Standard? Yeah, this is not going to work out that well for the opponent. Oh, and Tanuki, Final Fantasy XIV, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you as well. Alright, I like this hand though. We're going to keep. Oh, that's awesome, Resin. That is very similar to this type of a deck. Just Izzet, spells, tempo. Very cool. Kiln Fiend, one of my all-time favorite cards from Rise of the Eldrazi. Super fun to draft around that card. Yeah, no fear in this dojo. That is right, Will. Look, our opponent's playing Tri-lands. They're going to be way too slow to keep up with us. Right? This is some sort of a Sultai ramp deck. So we can shock, play out Stormwing Entity here. Oh wow, that's awesome. I have not been playing for quite that long. Started playing like pretty seriously around 2009. Had cards when I was a kid, but didn't really know what to do. It was just kind of like bought a couple packs or a starter deck. Yeah, I figured we might be seeing an Uro there, but I think we're going to be okay. They're not going to be able to bring that back before we can kill them. Resin, do you have a favorite set? Alright, so let's opt first, pumping our guys. Bone Crusher. Don't actually think I want that. I'd like to hit a land here so that we can both Stormwing and Skewer. Is Crash Through greedy? It definitely is greedy. Backup plan is we play Terramander after it. Could play it a little safer and just play this out. Yeah, I'll be a little safe. Yeah, I hope you do. It's been super fun, Tanuki. I just really like how tempo-y and interactive it is. Alright, and not a lot they can clear the board with here. I guess Extinction Event, but these are odd, so they would still have to deal with the Dorat. Ooh, okay. Ritual of Soot is even better for us because we were left with both of these. And we should just have lethal here. I need one more red source ideally. No, we have exactly lethal anyway. We just hit them first. Alright, we got there. Urza Saga. Nice. Yeah, I think nostalgia is definitely why everybody has a favorite set. But one of the reasons I love Rise so much is just because that's when I first started playing seriously, and I drafted that set just a million times. Alright, so that was sweet. Let's see, what do we want to bring in against Sultai Ramp? Feels like Miscast could be really good, just countering whatever board wipe they try to get us with for 1 mana. Also, maybe Mystical Dispute. Could be cheeky and bring in Dragonfire to try to hit Uro on the turn it comes down. Let's get rid of the Raking Claws. And Bone Crusher seems less good. There's not really many good targets. I know it's also a threat that we can play, but it seems like it might be a little slow. Let's bring in 3 Miscast. And maybe a Riddle Form to dodge board wipes. That could be kind of cool. Yeah, that sounds like everybody's first tournament. Green is always the first color you play. Biggest creatures. Yeah, that was a pretty sad Ritual of Soot, Titans fan. Did not hit a lot with it. I kind of want to bring in one more Riddle Form here. Guess we can get rid of something like a Shock. Yeah, this seems fine. This is solid. We're going to be able to Terramander on turn 2, and then Entity on turns 3 and 4, hopefully. Ooh, that might change our plan. Definitely like Lofty Denial. Okay, so if we play Dorat, that has the biggest upside. Can't hold anything up if we play Terramander. Yeah, we're just going to go for this. I don't think holding Lofty Denial up now makes sense because we don't have any pressure. So there's the Uro. Okay. So we can opt and then play out a Stormwing Entity. Actually doesn't even play into Extinction Event. Bottom this land here. Doesn't play into Extinction Event or Ritual of Soot, so I like that quite a bit. And if we can untap with the ability to hold up a Lofty Denial, that's going to be awesome. Riddle Form. So we can Riddle Form, keep up Lofty Denial next turn? Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, I like that these are both just triggered by non-creature spells as well. It doesn't even have to be an instant or sorcery. Yeah, whenever their sweeper only picks off 1 permanent, that feels pretty solid. You do only get the discount if you cast an instant or sorcery spell, so we can't actually play out another Stormwing here. But yeah, let's keep up Lofty Denial. Probably about 2 weeks mark. and then they get adopted. Yeah, we're not even close to getting this going, so keep up our counterspell here. I think this is one of the potential breakout cards from M21. Alright, so we can counter this. It also is only hitting our Stormwing entity, so we have the option of allowing that to resolve. I think we just need to keep as much pressure on as possible, though. I play absolutely anything, Resin. Yeah, I like tempo a lot, but I will play literally any deck. I've been playing aggro a lot recently, but yeah, no set style. So we can skewer, attack them, play out Pteramander. I like it. Yeah, we built an Umori Gruul deck that we've been doing really well with for a while, but now that M21 has come out, I'm excited to switch it up a little. Basically, I just like to play whatever is not considered the top deck at the time. Yeah, Esperdance, definitely more of a control deck. Ooh, I like that one. I'm always trying to fight against the meta. Okay, so I do think we Pteramander here because we have Riddle Form as a way to play around a sweeper. Mark, Titan's Nest is never going to happen. In fact, I listened to a little bit of Limited Resources, and they used Titan's Nest as the example for the F grade of a card in Limited. Yeah, so we got him here, get to skewer, and then hit him with Riddle Form. Yeah, Tanuki, I've been messing around with it for a couple iterations. The first, I'll play first. Yeah, this is a keep. We've got our Sprite Dragon, got the Immolator, and potentially a turn 3 Stormwing. Man, I do love me a Lofty Denial. So let's see. If we keep this, we're not going to hit a land next turn. We play out the Stormwing. We then have Crash Through to have 2 looks at a land for the following turn. No, I'm going to bottom it. We want to keep hitting land drops as much as I like to have Counterspell backup. Alright, let's get the Sprite Dragons going. If we hit another red source, we get to go Sprite Dragon Crash Through, which is really strong. Ooh. I think it's just the Immolator here. Yeah, we want to get our threats established. If they burglar at us again, we'll pitch another Immolator. Oh, congrats, Mark. How you feeling? Excited? Nervous? Both? Alright, so we're getting Heartless acted, which does set us back quite a bit because those Sprite Dragons were going to grow nicely in tandem there. As much as I want to Crash Through, I think it's more responsible to get the Heartfire Immolator down. Although if we do hit a land, we get to play Stormwing Entity. Yeah, maybe the upside is actually there. Hit an Opt, we get to grow this and have another look at a land. Alright, well I'm definitely glad I bottomed the Lofty Denial at least. Not nervous at all, that's great. Well, I mean, you're super well suited. Ooh, my own card being used against me, that is just rude. Yeah, punished hard. Okay. So we get to shock this, play Stormy Entity, and they have to sacrifice Doom Foretold? I think that's the line. It's alright, we're going to scry into some more lands, Titans fan. Wow. Alright. Yeah, I don't think we can actually keep either of those. Again, love having access to a counterspell. Really want to hit some land drops, though. The problem is I'm pinched on red mana, and all of our spells are red. I'm not sure if we're supposed to keep it there. If I had one more red source, I probably would have. Right now, Immolator kind of serves as a Dorad impression anyway, although it's getting picked off here. Alright, this is okay, actually. We have to crash through and play out another Stormwing, and as long as they don't have a sweeper, we're in good shape. And still haven't found another land. Jeez. Okay, we're going to keep the Opt. It's going to be a close one. Alright, let's go ahead and Opt. Ooh, hold on, let's think for a second. If we shock here, put them to 3, we're not going to need it actually, so either we keep our creature or we don't. Just the shock alone next turn is not enough to do it. Ooh, Skewer though. I can get behind that one. Do this now. I don't think we're ready to Brazen Bar or anything. Let's do it. Yeah, you know what? Who needs lands? Lands are overrated. Alright, so they need to remove this. We need to find one other burn spell to definitely finish them off. If they remove this, that is. We do also have the option of flashing in a Brazen Borrower. Got him, I think. Get out of here with that Doom Foretold. Like I said, lands are overrated. Okay. So Yorion Rats. What are we trying to do about that? So a lot of these are not instants or sorceries. So Miscast is not as good as it would be against other control decks. They're also not playing blue. Yeah, get more lands. That's not a bad strategy. There's really not much in our sideboard. I think I'm going to do the Riddle Form thing again because I could see them bringing in sweepers. And maybe Spectral Sailor. Just to be able to flash something in to sacrifice to a Doom Foretold, perhaps. And I feel like I always cut Raking Claws. That's my go-to card, although it's possible something like Shock is just not very good against them. Although it does pick off something like a rat, so they then have to sacrifice Doom Foretold. Yeah, I'm going to cut the Claws and 1 Shock. And yeah, this is a keep. We've got our Sweeper insurance, got a counter spell. Would like to find one more threat, ideally probably a Sprite Dragon or a Stormwing, but our opponent's also been mulling, which helps the cause. There we go. Kind of want to play Riddle Form here. It plays around Heartless Act. And then next turn, we can haste this up and then Shock or something. Yeah, I'm going to go Riddle Form. Okay. So, haste plus crash through. Don't really think we need to keep up Lofty Denial. Worst case scenario, if they play Doom Foretold next turn, we can sacrifice Riddle Form maybe, and then have up Lofty Denial. Real worst case would be Heartless Act and then Doom Foretold. But yeah, I'm going to go for this. Crash through here. Now it has a counter on it, actually, so that plays around Heartless Act on the Dorat. Yeah, I think we're in a great spot now because we can potentially sit back on some counter magic. Okay. Yeah, Crash 2 is definitely very good in this deck. This is a weird turn. I'd love to sit back on Lofty Denial. Feels like we don't have a ton of pressure, though. And if we don't play a spell here, then the Riddle Form does not get to attack. Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit greedy here. Just try to punch through a bunch of damage. I like this because then we can bounce something and flash in Risenbauer. So I'm going to hit the land here. Yeah, Mark, it's not particularly great in every deck, but just anything you can cycle for 1 mana, you always have to consider. And in a deck that cares about spells, it's very good. So they took Brazen Borrower. Yeah, this doesn't actually hit the Sprite Dragon.
This will be child's play. You better watch your back from
I feel like they probably should have taken Lofty Denial, because we can kind of lock them out now. Alright, we'll play our land, though. So there's no creatures for Kaya to hit here. So maybe we ignore Kaya, and we just attack the opponent. Yeah, I agree. If there were ways for Kaya to gain life, this would be different. But currently there just aren't. And we have a Lofty Denial to kind of lock them out of playing anything relevant. Yeah, we definitely don't care about a 1/1 token.
Too bad. You beat me this time. Bravo.
And we're not going to scry here. I was. Yeah, we'll keep this. And I'm actually not going to opt here. I'm going to try to use it post Sprite Dragon. Alright, maybe some Gruul or some Temur Rec. I think they're trying to tell us it's Gruul at least. Alright, so if they don't have any interaction, we have a really strong start because we get to opt Stormwing next turn and then sit back on Lofty Denial. Bone Crusher here would be annoying. Yeah, there's really not a lot of Temur Rec post M21, which is cool. It really did, like I said, shake up the meta. Alright, let's go ahead and go with our play that we planned out. We already have a Lofty Denial. I'd like to hit one more land, I think. It's not off the menu. It's still a very good deck, but people are also interested in doing some different things, I think. It is definitely still good. Yeah, people are trying new cards, exactly. But yeah, the fact that Rewind was in the set, there's no way that Temur Rec is not good right now. I've run into one or two, but yeah, everybody's excited about the new set. They'd rather do something different. Alright, so how broken can we be this turn? Because we can bounce this, pumping both, and we can also Raking Claws on the Stormwing. Let's start out by bouncing the Spellbreaker. So if we Raking Claws here, we hit them for 10 and 4, 14, and then they're dead to Skewer next turn. I'm in for that. Yeah, this is pretty powerful. Gruul is yesterday's aggro deck. It's all Izzet now. Okay. So we did see a lot of targets for... everybody just calls it Mill. That's like the accepted name for the mechanic. Oh no, not Gruul. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were lurking in the chat. I mean, Gruul is still totally awesome. Just trying something a little different here. Yeah, let's get some Scorching Dragon Fires going and some Red Cap melees. And probably just cutting our counter magic here. This feels pretty solid. I don't think Flame Sweep is great against Gruul because most of their creatures are too big. Miscast could be interesting if they try to bring in some interaction, but we'll see if that happens first. Yeah, and one thing that everybody should know too is that when the meta shifts, control decks are harder to get right because you don't know what you're reacting to. So once the meta settles down a little bit, Team Erect gets even better because you solidify your choices for those kind of flex card slots. Like, should you be playing Storm's Wrath or should you be playing more counter spells? That sort of thing. And yeah, Eder, we definitely have to set up another showdown. We'll co-cast it. We'll get on the Discord call. This is a keep. Gonna hopefully opt into a red source, but I have confidence in our first couple draws with the opt. We can get our hand going. Don't think we can save this until turn 3. We'll do it on the opponent's end step once we see what they do. But yeah, more aggressive and proactive strategies are always best in a new meta. Well, we got a bottom the door. I need to find, again, a red source. Not a red card, a red source. Okay, maybe this was a greedy keep. Already regretting it. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, Titans fan, I would love to co-stream with you as well. That would be a blast. Alright. Oh, okay. This was apparently way too greedy of a keep, based on... I don't know if I'm being results-oriented or if that was just a legitimately bad keep. Gotta look at the numbers. Sources. Our deck is... So maybe our odds of hitting one were not high enough, actually. And yeah, this is just super awkward. So we can shock them and play out Stormwing Entity to scry into another red source. Oh no, we can stomp them. We can also just play out Bone Crusher to trade with Questing Beast. I don't think that's a pathway to victory, though. And no, we don't have 11. We have 15 red sources, so it wasn't that greedy. Yeah, there's the ambush. That'll likely do us in for this one. Is it like a Yorion blink list, Eder? Alright, so we're not technically dead. Let's go ahead and crash through and play out the Stormwing. Ooh, Brazen Bar are also kind of interesting, but cannot sit back and keep that up. Still looking for a second red source here. Steam Vents. Deck trolling us now. We're not going to be able to shock for that. Cool, Eder. Alright, they got us here. Is it based on the like blue-white pigeons list, Eder? And alright, so we did see Domer's Ambush. This also could counter a Stomp. I'm a little bit intrigued by Miscast, honestly. And I think I don't know that I need that combo finish, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do away with the Raking Claws. Yeah, I'm going to keep. If we can scry into a spell by turn 3, then this is a really, really solid hand. And there it is. Alright, let's play this out and scry again. actually know if we want another one. So we're gonna opt next turn, play one out. Then we could scry into more spells to be able to play one and play another cheap one. Yeah, these are going to be super hard threats for the opponent to deal with, so I will keep another one. Alright, let's go ahead and find some more spells here. There's one. A lot of Ugin. Yeah, I just kill the opponent before Ugin comes down. That's the easy way to do it. Kind of want to hit one more land drop, actually. Soul Seer. That's a new card. Okay. Let's opt. Oh no, we know what card is on top. Let's crash through. Yeah, we don't allow Ugin to resolve. Oh, nice. These are both very strong. I think I want both of them, actually. And go ahead and play out the blue source. In case they have a 3 damage removal spell, I like having opt up as an option. There's something nice about feeling like you have a lot of control over the game, Eder. I can totally relate to that. Got a lot of decisions that matter. So I'm just going to play out Bone Crusher here. I'm going to save this opt. Alright, and we know what we're drawing, so let's crash through first, then play out Stormwing. Yeah, UW Flyers, I like the idea. It just felt underpowered, honestly. Wow, these are all just excellent. I'll keep them both. And opt now for the extra point of damage, or save it for next turn. I'm gonna save it for next turn. Pump 2 things instead of 1. Plus also, again, plays around like a Scorching Dragonfire from the opponent. Yeah. So it doesn't play around Ambush, unfortunately. Yeah, I wish I had this in hand right now. That would be such a blowout. But I think we're still in a good spot. If they have another removal spell, then it gets a little dicey. Okay, so we can pick that off with Scorching Dragonfire. Oh, we broke up? Oh no, hold on, I missed one. Not relating to Bant. Gotcha, you and Nissa broke up. Sorry to hear that, Eder. Breakups are always tough. Alright, let's start with an opt. I'll just keep opting, I guess. Yeah, I like Skewer here. So, I can opt Scorching Dragonfire and then try to Skewer next turn. Definitely attacking. I think I'm gonna opt Scorching Dragonfire and hope they can't remove this for 1 turn. Let's just see. We get in. Oh, this has reach, so I need to do this now. Yeah, I think I am gonna save it. Try to save it for protection against a Scorching Dragonfire of the opponents. I don't think getting in 1 more point of damage here makes sense. Although, go to 8. Opt. Yeah, it might actually matter. It only plays around exactly 3 damage removal spell. So if we hit them to 7, then we have exactly lethal next turn. I'm going for it. Take the shock. This way we almost can burn them out anyway. Yeah, because of the way that the numbers lined up, I think it was right to go for it there. If they have exactly Scorching Dragonfire, I am going to kick myself, but we've already seen Domery's Ambush. We've seen other spells that do 5. Like, I don't think we can actually hold it, and now we have them here. Alright, so let's lead with Shock. Then get in. Alright, good game. I have not yet got to draft the new core set. And yeah, this is an easy keep. Yeah, I can't wait to see your final Beast Tribal list, not Gruul. There's definitely a couple. I mean, I'm still doing well with the Umori list. Probably still about a 60% win percentage, but it does not feel as well positioned as it was. All right, so we have so much to cast post Dorat. I'm actually going to opt here to hit another land. Thanks, Mark. All right, so we are playing mono red here. I think I still just want a land drop for now. Immolator is a good blocker for Tin Street Dodger unless they activate it. But I do want to get the Sprite Dragon going. There you go. We'll enjoy that clip for the rest of our days. Alright, do they have a Shock or a Stomp? They do. Just mean opponents. So mean. Alright. Let's get the Immolator down. I thought about not playing it until next turn when we have the ability to sacrifice it up. That might have been smarter, honestly. Don't need any more lands now. Yeah, I feel like they have another Shock, maybe? We do have a nice sideboard against mono red. We've got a bunch of removal to bring in, and in this matchup, the Flame Sweep is actually quite good. I gotta find a threat now. I'll take that though. Eliminating their only threat seems fine. So I'm going to hold up Lofty Denial in case they play something that is exactly the mana cost that they have, like Anax or Torbrand. We're going to take 1 damage here, I think. The only thing this doesn't play around is exactly light up the stage, but they played a land first, which usually indicates they don't have light up the stage. Ember Hauler. Probably. So if we shock that, they do get to sacrifice to deal 2 to us. But I still think that's better than letting it survive. And we do have Crash Throughs to trigger the Stormwind, so I'm not worried about holding shock until our turn. Yeah, we just gotta dig to find one more solid threat. Oh, that is the definition of a solid threat there. Alright, so super big decision here. I'd love to crash through. The problem is if they have shock or something, we just get so blown out. So I think we just attack with the 1/1 and hold up Lofty Denial for a turn, and then we can start doing crash through next turn. This also protects us from literally anything on their turn because they now have to pay 4 for it. Yes, Castle Embereth is outside of the literally anything category, but do they have a follow-up? Since they didn't activate. Alright, no more removal. Don't do it to us, opponent. I know you can't pay 4. Come on, Sprite Dragon. Survive the turn. All right. Assemble the Sprite Dragon squad. The frustration concession from the opponent. All right, let's bring in the Red Cap Melees, Scorching Dragon Fires, and Flame Sweeps. And their deck actually had a good amount of non-creature spells, so Miscast intrigues me as well. Definitely don't want Raking Claws. And so we could just cut the Lofty Denials. We are on the draw here. Could also cut Brazen Borrowers. Let's do it like that. We'll keep a couple counter spells, but mostly be ready to respond to what they're doing. I think against Mono Red, so many of their threats are so cheap that Brazen Borrower is not quite as good, although bouncing, an Ember Cleaved Up creature or a Torbrand on a key turn can still be relevant, so it's not a dead card by any means. We'll keep. Alright, do work, Pteramander. Robber's gonna rob us. Okay, so I feel inclined to just stomp the Robber of the Rich here. The super confident play would be to play out Sprite Dragon and attack, and then stomp it next turn. Although we really want to get a spell to get Storming Entity going next turn. Yeah, I think I just want to limit what they can do with the Robber of the Rich here. I don't really see a benefit in waiting on this. Especially if they play something like Infuriate. No reason to get blown out. Alright. More Fervent Champions. Would love to find a Flame Sweep. That would be a perfect top deck. Hear me, deck. That's okay too. Alright, so we can Pteramander plus Stomp. Could also just play out Bone Crusher, force them to have a way to remove it to get through. In my experience, that type of play often backfires. Could have also kept back the Pteramander to double block. Yeah, that would have been a little bit better. Yeah, for similar reasons though, I'm going to Stomp now. Mostly because if they have something like Infuriate, I'd rather them pump on their turn versus getting the extra damage in. Alright. Alright, we'll throw down our blocker now. Play this tap, and then hold back a double block for the Fervent Champion. Embercleave does wreck us here. Not much we can do about that. If we're just clearing the board, I feel pretty good about that. We get 2 tokens here. We have another 4/3 blocker coming down. Alright, they're just going for us now. Alright, so we can shock away one of the tokens, play Stormwing Entity. Could also just play this out. I think I like getting rid of a token, getting the Stormwing going, and some Scries. Just want one more land, I think. Then we could play like Bone Crusher and keep up Lofty Denial. And it feels like we turned the corner. they have a removal spell here, they get in for 1. Okay, so just gonna go at us. It makes sense. We do have Lofty Denial to protect us now, though. Alright. Let's go ahead and get the Bone Crusher down and start attacking. So they can pay for the Robber here. I'm going to let them attack in. We'll counter something if they hit something good. Skewer, jeez. Alright, well that was rough, but we're still alive. Alright, exciting match. Need to fade something for 1 turn here. So we can transform this. They're not dead though is the issue. Alright. So let's swing like this, because this plays around Embercleave. Although, if they have Claim, this doesn't work. This would play around Claim and Embercleave. 2. I don't think we can play around everything. Alright, I'm swinging like this. They get it? They did not. Whew. Close one.